So it's just no matter how prepared you think you are, and even if you're screening it for people who love you and care about you and want to support you, and who will say it's really good, even though it's, even though you may think it's not, and even if they don't like it, they say they will, you still get nervous, and I was discussing that with Alex as well today, and he's got experience with larger performance groups, circus groups and things like that, and their shows aren't even ready on opening night, and I mean, I think that's the feeling I had of, okay, it's done now, and when the lights go out and the movie starts, well, that's it. You don't have much of a choice. It's done. It's done.
One more question before we go to our next break, MJ.
Sure.
If people do want to pick up a copy of either one of your movies, how do they get in contact with you?
They could email me at nightscape@pluno.com, PLUNO.com. Nightscape, NIGHTSCAPE @pluno.com. And then just email me and I'll send you stuff.
You're listening to Frank Talks Pleasures and Lifestyles, and we'll be back right after this. We're getting back to our interview with Mr. M. J. Di Rocco, the producer, director, writer, and a multitude of other tasks on your film projects.
You forgot good looking.
No, I didn't.
Thanks, Frank.
I think it's. I have to say this. MJ and I have been friends for a long time, so it's okay. I can rib him like this. Not that I would for most of my guests, but on this one in particular, I'm more than happy to torture
It's okay.
him.
I know you're just jealous.
Absolutely. Let's talk about the future. What are some of your future aspirations, not only for yourself as an independent filmmaker, but also for the industry of independent filmmaking?
I think independent filmmaking is going to take a very big turn very soon. I think digital technology is skyrocketing right now with the new equipment coming out. Canon has got a wonderful new camera, the XL2. I will send them a CD so they can give me money for promoting their equipment on your show. Canon is a very good company. Buy from them. Now I'm going to get a check. I think the new digital technology coming out, the new computer programs coming out to edit are relatively affordable. I mean, if you think a couple of $1,000s, you can get a very good production quality digital mini DV camera for $5,000-$6,000. You can get a great computer to edit for, again, $5,000-$6,000. So kids, if you're thinking about buying a car or being a filmmaker, take the bus, buy the equipment, and the digital wave is coming on strong. I'm a firm believer in working with digital. Film is a waste of money, a waste of time. You're going to spend too much money for nothing. And so with this digital technology coming out, people will start paying attention to it, because a lot of films now are being shot on digital. Most recently, the film Collateral with Tom Cruise, directed by Michael Mann, who did Heat and The Insider, was shot, and they used some of the cameras we used on Truant Cafe. So it's getting attention. So I see it going back to how it was in the 70s, where people would just pick up cameras and make films, and that's how you got the Scorseses and the De Palmas and the Coppolas and the Spielbergs and George Lucas, who went wrong somewhere, but he's a nice man. That's where I see filmmaking going in the next 5 years. I foresee a lot of independent stuff coming up. I foresee a lot of great changes and a lot of great innovations. And that's the only way the medium is going to progress, is to have young people working within a large number of limitations, like no money, like very little time. That's when the great filmmakers come out. And that's what you're going to see in the next 5 years. A great turn using digital, and you're going to see a lot of great films by a lot of people you'd never would have heard of if it weren't for digital production.
What about your own personal future aspirations?
I just keep on hoping I make enough money to keep on making films and to get enough people to watch my films. Those are my aspirations. I just like making films, and I want to keep doing it. Would I like to win an Oscar? Of course. I'd even take a Golden Globe. Hell, I'd settle for People's Choice Award. I'll even go over MTV. What are the ones they call here in Canada? The Junos, the Genies, the Geminis? I'll settle for one or all three. I don't care. Do I want an award? Yes. I mean, who does it? You know, who would say, no, don't give me that award. I'll take a Razzie if you give it to me. You know, spray paint toilet paper. I'll take that, a gold toilet paper roll. But I just want to keep on making films. I want to keep on making them my way, because there's nothing wrong with making things the way you feel they should be made. I've done that with Meatball Story. I've done that with Truant Cafe. People like them because they are what they are. You know, I don't try to make a film because, well, everybody else is making a film like that. You know, I don't go that route. I know what my limitations are. I work within them, and that's how I feel my quality goes. My budget will increase in time because attention will gain and will grow, and from there I will adjust accordingly.
We touched on this a little bit earlier on in the show, but I'm going to ask you a very specific question here. If you could go back in time and give yourself some advice when you first started getting into this, what would that be?
Keep going. You'll get there. I'd go back and just tell myself, you know what? It looks like a dark road, and it's going to be a dark road for a little while, but don't worry. You're going to meet some wonderful people, and they're going to help you out, and you're going to help them out, and you're going to see things are going to get there, and, you know, you're going to be cool one day. So that's what I would tell myself, you know. And I'd maybe tell myself to hang out at the comedy club, just don't do stand-up, because I'm not good at it.
So would you have advised yourself not to get involved in that aspect at all?
No, because I wouldn't have met anybody. I wouldn't have made that music video that was terrible and met that guy named Frank with the puppet show. Had I not done all that, I'd probably still be living in my parents' basement wondering why chicks don't like me. So now I live in Toronto with Anthony, and I sit in my room wondering why chicks don't like me. But hey, I made 2 films.
So the 2 films make it all worth it.
Yes, they do. Actually, they do, because it's a wonderful experience where you meet wonderful people, where you have stories where if I were to die tomorrow, I'd say, you know what? I did something very few people have done. Not only have I made a film, I've made 2 films with no money. I mean, there's people that have $150 million budgets and don't finish their film. So I can say, you know what? Even if I don't become famous, I'll have a hell of a story to tell my kids and my grandkids. So, you know what? I made 2 films. We were crazy, but hey, we did it. You know, we did it by ourselves with our own rules, begged, borrowed, stole equipment, but we did it. So,
one quick question, because we're running out of time. When people do buy your video and or DVD of the films, what can they expect on those products?
They can expect some high quality work from some dedicated people, some cool special features, and movies that they will enjoy and be able to talk about and tell their friends to buy.
Running time on the 2 films?
Meatball Story, 1 hour, 40 minutes. Truant Cafe, 1 hour, 21 minutes.
MJ, it's been an absolute pleasure having you in studio today. Unfortunately, we've come to that time where we have to say goodbye.
Thank you, Frank.
You're listening to Frank Talks Pleasures and Lifestyle.
Frank Talks is sponsored in part by Everything Out of Her Mouth is a Test, a man's guide to the emotional needs of women. What would your life be like if you knew exactly what to say and do with women? Learn how to handle women's tests by addressing her emotional needs. By this, you create the type of attraction that will make her see you as the one. This book is a guide for men to understand exactly what a woman means when she speaks. Is that worth changing your life forever? Buy this book at franktalks.com now.